Okay, so just good morning and welcome to Launchpad 2021. Congratulations on accepting your place here at Maynooth University. We're really thrilled to have you here, and we wish you all the best for the years ahead. My name is Bridget Gormley. I'm a disability student advisor here within the Maynooth University Access Program, and I'll be talking to you about how we support students with disabilities here at the university. It's my understanding that you'll be able to put questions into the chat, and I think there'll be a Q&A piece as well too. Ruchi will be with us. Ruchi is our assistive technology tutor, and she'll be coming in as well to talk about the technology pieces that are there. Ruchi, can I just check with you? Would you like to come in at the beginning or towards the end?
Yeah, hi Bridget. I'm happy for you to go ahead, and I'll come in towards the end.
You'll come in towards the end, fabulous. And we also have Ryan Lynch with us, who is a student, fourth year computer science student, who will speak to his experience at Maynooth University as well. Okay, so good morning, and we'll get started. Okay, so students registered with the Disability Office last year. You can see here that we support its 14 disability categories. Some of the people in the room here will have come through the DARE process, and some people who came through DARE will be who will have gotten reduced points in their place. Some people would have come through their own merit. They are DARE eligible, but they had their own points for their own place. There's students here that have come through the QQI route, students mature route, and students who came through the CAO route. We have postgraduate international students here as well too. So you're all very welcome, and you can see here on this slide the students that we support in the different disability categories. We're really proud at Maynooth University. We have a great diverse population who add to the richness of the university, and students with disabilities make up 6.5% of the MU student population. So that's something that we're very, very, very proud of. 19% of our students also disclose additional conditions. So what that means is that some students may have mental health as a primary, but also may have a visual impairment as well. So it's called Comorbility, and we would have a number of students, 20%, that have additional support needs. So here's beautiful Maynooth, and we're absolutely thrilled as COVID seems to be lifting and restrictions are changing that we'll be able to come on to campus as a community this year. So we're really looking forward in the staff and the students to be able to come back together as a community. And this is our beautiful computer science building. So as I said, there's different pathways to get to Maynooth. So some of you came through the CAO and you ticked the disability box. Some of you came through the CAO and you were DARE eligible. Some of you came through the CAO and you have DARE and HERE. Some of you came through the CAO and you're a mature entry student. Some of you came through the CAO and you came through your QQI qualification through FETAC. Some of you are postgraduate students. You're finished your undergraduate degree and you're now endeavoring for postgraduate work. And some of you are international students. Some of you are on Erasmus. Some of you are coming for a year's study abroad as well. So students can apply to MAP for disability supports at any point in your academic journey. So for those that have come through the CAO and have ticked that box in any way through any of those entry routes, you will have gotten communication from the disability office about how you start to come to our attention so we can get disability supports for you. We would also have students as well too who develop conditions and disabilities during their studies, so they would come to us as well at any point during your academic journey. So your first steps here at Maynooth University. So you've all accepted your offer. Step 2, you're doing it right now. You're at the Launchpad orientation. When you accepted your offer, you would have gotten an email from the Access Office, Disability Office, about filling in an online registration form. So it's online application to apply for disability supports, okay? And from that, when we have your evidence of disability and we have your completed application with all of the consents, we will then send you an email from who will be your student advisor within the disability services, and you'll do a needs assessment. And from that needs assessment, we will then coordinate your supports as needed. So what is a needs assessment? What comes into it? So it'll be a meeting with a student advisor, and you'll be able to talk to them. You'll have the documentation there. We'll have your school reports there. We'll be able to talk about the impact of your disability, any previous supports that you may have had from school. Some students have, visiting teachers, things like that. We'll have all of those reports. Your educational experience. I know for anyone that was the class that just did the Leaving Cert, and the class before as well too, you would have had a different educational experience than what would have been pre-pandemic. But we will talk to you about your educational experiences and how things worked for you, from if you came from secondary school, if you came from QQI, or if you're a mature student. And the demands of the course. So if you're a science student, the demands of your course is very different from an arts student. Labs and tutorials, things like that. We'll talk about the course and what is ahead, and we'll anticipate some of the challenges that you may experience. And we really hope that the disability supports that we have will put your mind at ease, that you'll be able to tackle those challenges and to succeed. So when we get the needs assessment, then it goes out. So the outcomes of the needs assessment is library support. So we have an absolutely fabulous library at Maynooth University. It's just as you cross the walkway there on the Kilcock Road, and in there you'll have extended loans. There's someone within the university, if you're struggling for every subject, you can, if you want to talk to an expert on every subject. But we also have for students who maybe need some assistance getting materials off of books and things like off of shelves and things like that, we can do that. I'll talk about technology second because I know Ruchi's in here. We have exam supports as well too. So we'll take a look at the exam supports that you may have been awarded through the RACE, which is the Reasonable Accommodation Commission in Education. And we have our own exam policy here at Maynooth University. It's adapted by the university executive, and we'll take a look at that and decide what exam accommodations you should have per our policy. We'll also look at learning supports. So there's loads of opportunities to engage in technology transition programs and things like that there. Even after Launchpad, working with, with the Access Society and with the MAP ambassadors as well. And then referrals to other university supports that I'll talk about in a second. I have technologies on this screen here. Ruchi, I think what I'll do now is I'll just quickly say something about technology, and then I'll leave it to you in a little bit there to talk about the offerings we have from disability supports. So technology really is the thing that levels the playing field. And it is something that is COVID has caused it to really expand. As I'm sitting here talking to you virtually, this is something 18 months ago when the pandemic first occurred, we hadn't used that technology, and I'm just amazed by it. And I've been in disability services for a long time, and these are the things that I dreamt about that would be there to assist students to be able to engage with their curriculum and also to bringing it into the world of work. So yesterday, for instance, I met a student yesterday who was profoundly deaf. I was able to turn on my live captioning, and the student was able to turn on an app called Otter. And between the two of us, we were able to do a needs assessment. I had offered the use of an ISL interpreter, but the student wanted to try the technology, and I really was buzzing afterwards because this is just such a wonderful way to engage with members of the deaf community. So I'm just absolutely thrilled to see how technology has come on. So supports for students with disabilities, you have contacts. So within MAP, which is the Maynooth Access Program, we have a shared advisory service, and we have advisors. So you'll have an advisor who you'll be able to come to if you have questions and queries. In each of our departments, we have someone called a MAP academic advisor. This is a real flagship program for us at Maynooth University. Every single academic department has someone who is a MAP academic advisor who's aware of difficulties for students with disabilities. So if you're studying a subject and you're struggling, you can have a meeting with the MAP academic advisor about your academics, and they can make some suggestions for you. It's also too, if the academic staff have someone with a specific disability in their lectures, they can contact us in the shared advisory service to get some advice. So it really is shared and collective use of that service. all of the learning that we have. So you have Student Central. Student Central is a psychological, led by assistant psychologists. It looks at different categories of disability and how you can work on all those academic skills that you need to have. So you'll find out about Student Central. I've mentioned exam supports for students that have periods of hospitalization. So we do have students that may be undergoing different kinds of treatments or need to be hospitalized for periods of time. We do have something called additional academic tuition. We can put that in place with your department in order to assist you to get back after you come back from your period of hospitalization. Some students will require personal assistance, and we use a service called Servisource, and they'll be matched with a student who may be a wheelchair or mobility aid user. The library has fantastic training through LIST, which is the information skills training, which is really important, and library supports that I mentioned earlier. Technology is the Technology Transition Program, which Ruchi, I'm sure, will be mentioning in a minute. Assistive technology assessment for students with very, very high needs. Ruchi will be meeting with them to look at how technology might be able to assist them with their studies. We loan out equipment as well too, should it be software or hardware for students that need it. And there's a MAP Moodle area, which you would have been asked for consent through the online application form. And you'll be, if you give consent, you'll be put into that area, and we always are updating that with information. The university has a number of supports as well too, and actually I have a slide with better visuals than that, so I'll go on to that now, which is this one. Excuse me 1 second. So we have the MAP academic supports. So we have in math, we have a math support center. There's the library information training, the academic writing center, very, very important. Academic writing center works with students from first year undergrad all the way through your PhD. The MAP academic advisors, which I mentioned, the student budget advisor. So if you're having difficulties with funding or questions around making a student's assistance fund application, you can meet with the student budget advisors, and they'll be able to give you advice as well too. And then Student Central, which I mentioned earlier. Okay, Ruchi, will I hand over to you there to come in?
Yeah, absolutely.
Will I unshare my screen, Ruchi?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I'm assuming I'm unshared now.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay.
Thanks, Bridget. Okay, I'm just going to turn on my captions here. Hello, everybody. As Bridget mentioned, I'm the assistive technology tutor at the Maynooth Access program, and I would be working very closely with students like yourselves to help them get along with their studies and anywhere where there can be a touch point for technology to help you study better, or to kind of make certain study related tasks easier. So I'm just going to bring up a little screen here just for me to show you. Right, I hope you're able to see that screen now. So that is.
Ruchi, yeah. Can I just check? Is your captioning on, just so that everybody can see?
Oh, is it not on?
Hold on. I don't know. Just I can't tell because I'm in another thing there.
Okay. Sorry, can one of the ambassadors confirm if the captioning is working?
If you hit J Ruchi, it should come on. It's not there at the moment.
Okay.
Oh, it's done. And it's working on the attendees side.
Yeah, it's working there. Perfect.
Sorry, also Gavin here.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Thanks, Gavin. Thanks, Ryan. All right, so yes, so as I was saying, we offer a lot of technology support for a whole lot of tasks that you would be expected to do as a student in Maynooth. This would be like technology for reading, writing, proofing, note taking, even teamwork, group work or collaboration, as well as time management and organizational skills, and a lot more. So if you've used technology in the past, then you know what you might need to help you get along in your studies here at Maynooth. Feel free to kind of be in touch. And of course, Bridget would also kind of, when you meet Bridget, once she assesses your need for some technology, she would kind of refer you on to me, and we will have a chat between ourselves to try and figure out what might be the best technology for you to work with. So just to know that those are the 5 main areas around which technology supports are available. If you have never used technology in the past or not used enough of it in an education setup and you're not quite sure what's available out there, that's still no problem. We can still have a chat, and I can introduce you to some of the tech that we have here and get you started on a trial basis, and we can see what works best for you essentially. So we have a lot of technology, and there is no pressure whatsoever to use one particular technology. We always kind of give you options to see what might work best for you, and we work with you to ensure that you have all that you need from on the technology side of things to make the most of your studies here at Maynooth. Finally, if you're a student who has any kind of vision difficulties or hearing impairments, we also provide technology for those kind of conditions. So and we work with Sight and Sound, who's our partner in this provision. So I would kind of.
No, I was just being polite. It's obviously.
Sorry, I'm just. Okay. Yeah.
Can everyone make sure that their microphones are off? Just Ruchi should be on.
Thanks. Yes, so if you're a student with vision impairment, if you have used, say, a screen reader software in the past or not used it enough, whatever the situation might be, do reach out to Bridget and to myself through that, and we will explore some of those kind of technologies as well. Also, if you have a hearing impairment and you may be a little concerned about how you might manage in a bigger classroom in the university, we definitely have some technologies that can help you get along with those bits as well. Last but not the least, we're running a technology transition program. Some of you may have already heard of it. If not, it's a series of online sessions which kind of introduce you to a whole set of technology tools, some of which you would be expected to use as part of your studies and as part of being a student in Maynooth, like your Outlook email addresses and your calendars and things like that. So these technology transition program sessions cover a bit of that, as well as a bit of all the core reading, writing, note taking, etc. Those kind of areas that are listed here. So feel free to come to those sessions. They are happening up until the end of this month. So we have a session every Tuesday, Wednesday. We have a set of 3 sessions on every Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. I will put a link in the chat there to the timetable for those sessions. So you can see what works best for you and come to those sessions if you wish to. But I kind of highly encourage you to come in and just see, what it'll just kind of give you a very quick overview of what technology is out there and what we can support you with. And yeah, so that's the technology transition program. And last but not the least, I would just kind of want to point out a set of resources that we have put up on our website, which you can also check out in your own time around the different technology supports that are here. So that's pretty much it from my side. I hope you feel comfortable enough to use technology, and if you don't just yet, that's perfectly all right. We'll set you up in a way that you kind of start using it and gradually get comfortable with it. So that's it from me, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruchi. So I'll pass over to Ryan there. Ryan, can you turn on live captioning and just can everyone be able to see it then?
I'm not sharing a PowerPoint, so it might not come up, but if anybody is having issues, they can use the Teams live captioning with the 3 dots, but just in case, I might just share a random PowerPoint to bring it up.
That'd be fantastic. Thank you, Ryan.
Of course. And let me just let me share that now. Window. PowerPoint slide. Is that coming up for everybody? So you just kind of ignore the PowerPoint here. It's purely to get the captions on the bottom, because just for anybody that isn't able to get them on Teams themselves. But yeah, hello, my name is Ryan. I am a computer science and software engineering student, hence the computer science slides I'm currently working on for a later talk. So I'm going into my final year of computer science now at the moment, and I'm going to keep this as brief as possible. I came into college through here and there. When I came in, I couldn't read or write. I'm blind in one eye, and I'm not able to walk unaided. At the time, I was fully on crutches. At the moment, I use a walking stick, which sometimes I can leave the house without it, but very rarely anymore. So that's my background. Like I have a pain condition. That's where I came into college. I was very much, in my opinion, unready coming into college, and I was really, really nervous. And I actually wasn't going to take my place on my course because I didn't think it was going to be, university was going to be suitable for me with a disability. Because I had only gotten it about a year before, just at the start of 6th year. And it was actually only because the disability advisor that was assigned to me, Jared, who was here at the time, he called me in for a meeting before the term started, and just to have a chat about college and what could be done before we moved in. I came into the college fully intending to say to him, listen, appreciate this, but I'm not going to take the spot. We're all good. Thanks anyway. And then he was like, oh yeah, grand, but do you mind just staying for a couple minutes and just chatting about, just in case you change your mind? And I said fair enough. So I kept just kind of throwing problems at him, like, okay, well, yeah, so I can't actually read myself at the moment. I lost the ability for whatever reason, but I can't read. And he's like, yeah, it's okay, we have this software for that. And I said, oh well, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to keep up with notes because I'm still, if I can't read, I can't really write either. And he's like, yeah, that's okay, here's another solution. And I kept just throwing stuff. It's like, I'm not sure I can get to college, I can't get onto a bus, here's a solution. Literally every single problem I threw at Jer, and I threw a lot of them because I was not in a great spot at the time physically. Every problem I threw at him, it was solved. It was like, here, this is how we can approach this. Zero pressure to do anything. It's like, okay, but just so you know, these supports are here. And even though I didn't take him up on all those at the time, I thought, okay, well, maybe I can give college a go, a start. And he said, perfect, you come back to me in a week of college. We're gonna sit down, we're gonna chat about this, see the supports that you're looking at, the technology that we're working with. So I was using Read and Write to read all of my lecture notes, and I was using an audio note taker software to get all of my lectures notes. So I was working with them. He said, right, you're going to come back to me after week 1. We're going to sit down. We're going to talk, see how that worked out. And I said, okay, I'll accept the offer. I have a whole 2 months, I think, before to drop out of college without fees or anything. So I did that. I did the week. I sat down with him and was like, okay, this worked really well. But I was actually having like just little finicky issues here and there. And he said, okay, perfect. Well, maybe we can work around those and adjust it or try this new way of doing it. And we did that. He said, okay, perfect. You come back to me in 2 weeks now. We're going to see how you do. And I said, absolutely, okay, I can manage that. I could do 2 weeks. So I did that, and he said, perfect, we're going to come back in a month. After 2 weeks, I was like, yeah, brilliant. So throughout the year, I just kept meeting up with JR. I kept saying, okay, well, I think this is going well. I might be struggling a little bit here. And every single time he's like, okay, we're going to chat about where you are now. You're going to tell me how you're getting on, what you think we could do to fix it. So we talked together about it and actually work on like proper solutions. It was never a case of just when Mo's like, Jer, I'm just really struggling, this is going crap. It was always like, well, specifically I'm having problems in this kind of area. And he was like, okay, well, what would work for you? And that was brilliant for me. It was exactly what I needed because I was so unsure of my own abilities when I came into college, and I didn't think that I was going to be able to perform at all on the level of my classmates. And then coming in and seeing all of these supports and having this service where I could go back and talk to and update with someone who was getting to know me and I was getting to know them all regularly, it was fantastic. It couldn't have helped me better. I came into 2nd year and the first thing I did was like I organized a meeting with Chair, my disability advisor. I was like, okay, well, so I have these modules coming this year. We did this all this way last year. Just checking we're still on the same page. Make sure like I'm feeling a little nervous about this module. Just I might come to you later on. We just had a good chat and a catch up at the summer before I started the year. It was brilliant. And then I went to 2nd year and I knew at any point it's like, okay, still anytime I need a hand, I can go to Jared. It doesn't matter if I'm having a big issue or a little one. I can go in and say, I'm not sure of how this is going, but just so you know, I might need a hand with this, or later on I might need some extra help with this particular module because I'm finding it very hard to grasp because of some issue or other. And it was really brilliant having that service there, because I could talk to the students, of course, and they could help, and I got a lot of help from my classmates too. But having someone who knew what they're talking about, who I could regularly update, and they could have ideas of what they've seen work before, what they've seen not work before, helped me so much when I came out of college, and still does. I've been going back to my disability advisor at least once a month or month and a half, just for a check-in, make sure everything's going right. And just so that if there's the possibility of an issue coming up, it's flagged as early as possible. So it doesn't need to be addressed immediately, but we know to start thinking about it, about what we're going to need to do. And if something is going to cause a problem, we can nip it in the bud. And yeah, so that's my experience coming in through there. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much, Ryan. We really appreciate you sharing your experience with us. That's fantastic. Now. Okay, now I'm going to share my screen again. I hope. Okay. Can you guys see that?
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
And are my closed captions on again?
Yeah, they are.
Super. Okay, great. Okay, perfect. So there you heard from Ryan and his experience, and I really hope what you take away from what Ryan has said is the communication. So it's very important that if something's not going your way, that you come in, you email us. We can have an online meeting. We, hopefully as the restrictions change, we'll start to meet in person as well. That you engage in the training that we put on. That you, technology training, the workshops that we'll be running, the master classes that we'll be running. Keep an eye. The most important thing, your Maynooth University email address that you all should have now will be. That's how we will be communicating with you from now on. So we initially communicated with you to the email address you used for your CAO application, and we'll now be using the one that you use for your university email address. Okay. I just wanted to highlight as well too the 1916 bursary, that everybody is aware of that. And you can see this information here. I know that they're flagging this at every talk that you go to. So at the bottom there, you can see the MU, the Maynooth University page for the 1916 bursary. So if you think that you might be one of the target groups, the eligible students, and you fall underneath the reckonable income of your household, do take a look at that 1916 bursary as well. Okay, and also to the laptop loan scheme. So make sure that you link in the COVID laptop loan scheme. The government ran it last year and we were thrilled whenever they announced that they were going to run it again this year as well. And you've heard technology transition program. So make sure that you do link in for those as well. Oh, excuse me there for a second. So, and then the final thing then is, here's the information. If you have any queries at all, access.office@mu.ie, disability.office@mu.ie, the disability page on the MU website, or we're on Twitter and social media. So I'm sure that the MAP ambassadors are linking you guys in to know where on social media you can get information from the MAP, the Maynooth Access Program as well too. Okay, so at this point, you all should have gotten an email to the you should have gotten an email to the email address you used for your CAO application. And in that, there was a link for the application to apply for disability supports. So we will start to contact you. So you'll start to get emails now from student advisors linking you in for needs assessments as well. So make sure you keep an eye on the email address you used for your CAO application. Okay, and then as you've all been able to register as of yesterday for first year, we'll start moving in to your MU email address as well. And then we'll stop using the email address from the CAO application.